Happy birthday to you. I thought
Happy birthday, dear Rosie.
I got it.
Happy birthday to you.
Come in and close the door.
Happy birthday, Rosie. See? Today's the first day.
101 candles they have. Rosie,
What?
you're celebrating for a whole year.
I know.
She
The
closed
Christmas
one
tree.
door and you
Yeah.
open up another, that's
Yeah.
all. Yes.
Wait a minute. Let me make the wish.
Make a wish
Make a
first.
wish, Rosie, for everybody.
The icing's melting.
I was born January the 1st, 1908, when the horns were blowing in Russia. That's when I came out to find out what was blowing.
So you're 100 years old,
Plus,
going on 101.
yeah, and I'm almost 101. God, it passes so quickly, I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
It really is scary. And sometimes when I'm in bed at night and I'm thinking, how did I do it all? That's 100. How did I do 100 years?
After the assassination of Alexander II in 1881, there was a wave of pogroms in southern Russia against the Jewish community, which continued throughout the 19th century. These widespread attacks and devastation by Russian mobs against the Jews were often approved or condoned by those in authority and led to a large increase in Jews leaving Russia. More than 90% of the emigrating Jewish population settled in the United States. In 1902, the Minister of the Interior, Vyacheslav von Plov, said, "I shall not conceal from you that the revolutionary movement in Russia worries us. You should know that if you do not deter from this movement, we shall make your position untenable to such an extent that you will have to leave Russia to the very last man." This led to a large increase of Jews leaving Russia. Nathan Kramer, Rose's father, was jailed after protesting the treatment of the citizens of Smargon. Upon his release, he left for the United States and settled in Ithaca, New York. 2 years later, he sent for his family.
It was great getting away from there. He was in prison. He escaped because he was against the ruling of the county and everything. And I remember the horses, huge horses, but they were huge. To me, I was a little girl. They seemed like they were enormous. And they used to come by, and with their big boots, they used to kick the doors open. My mother used to throw us under the bed. I remember all that. I remember we had an oven in the kitchen that was as big as a house that you could sit on. And one day, the woman that worked with my mother, she had a helper. She had put some things in the oven to bake. And she put me on the top shelf of the oven. She thought I'd stay there, but I didn't. I got down, I don't know how. But anyway, my mother came in to take out what was in the oven, and it wasn't there. So she called to her helper and she said, "Maria, what'd you do with the cookies?" And she said, "They're in the oven." And so she said, "It isn't there." At the same time, I came out from behind the door with my little apron with all the stuff in there and a mouthful of cookies. And I kept saying, "Call the police, call the police, somebody stole the cookies." But the stories you hear in an area like that are different than in this country. They live with stories. And they live for getting together. And whatever they do together.
When Rose and her family arrived in Ithaca,
Her father met them during a snowstorm with a horse and buggy. Her mother's sister had a two-family house, and that's where they lived, in Ithaca, New York. Her father was set up in a junk business. He had a horse and buggy and went to the farms to pick up junk and then sold it. Finally, he was able to buy his own business. By that time, Rose was older. Her mother set her hair in curlers and rags. A boy sitting behind her in school used to pull them. He would say to her, "You're a Christ killer." "I'm a what?" she said. "You're a Christ killer." "Is that good or bad?" she said to him. "It's bad. You're bad. You're very bad." Rose told her mother, and her mother went to her neighbor, a Mrs. Herson, a typical Irish woman, and she told her what happened. The next day, Mrs. Herson accompanied Rose and her mother to school to talk to the principal. The principal called the boy and asked him to explain why he called Rose a Christ killer. He said, "That's what my mother told me to say." The principal called the parents and punished the boy, and also the parents severely.
I don't even remember what class it was, but I know I was very young. And the teacher came in, she said she wants everybody to do a work of art about good health. And she said, "I'll give you 1 week to do it, and then we'll have a contest to see who wins the first prize." And the day of surprise came. She went to the head of the fronts of the desks and everything, and she said, "I'm going to announce the winners. Now pay attention, everybody." And then she calls out my name as first prize. I thought I was going to pass out. What did I write? What did I do? I placed an Indian on a mountain, and I put an arrow in his hands, and it said, "Aim for good health." That's it. And that took a prize, which was $6. I did crazy things. We have a college town that I came from, and as a young girl, I was 16, I already had dates. So when my mother had a Seder, I used to invite about 10 boys to come, and they used to clear off the tables and set up the tables, and they got free meals. They all seemed to want to become doctors. I don't know why. We talked about it, and I wasn't really interested at that time. But after a while, I got interested. And they'd say to me, "Why don't you become a nurse? And then we'll be the doctor. And then we'll go to the same hospital, and we'll be together." And I decided that if I go into nursing, which I wanted to really, it would have to be in a big city. I wasn't going to stay in Ithaca to do it because there was very little action here. So there was a Dr. Martin Tinker in Ithaca, and he was a friend of my father's, and they were really buddies. So anyway, Dr. Tinker came in one day, and I was in the store helping my father. He was angry because my brother had a habit of ordering a lot of food, for the store, and he didn't want him to overload. And so they were having an argument. Anyway, he came in, he said, "What's the argument?" So I said, "Well, my father doesn't want me to be a nurse." He says, "No, of course he does." He says, "I'm going to send you to the hospital I want you to nurse in." And he did.
Oh.
He gave me a letter of introduction to Mount Sinai. Anyway, I went for the interview, and she sat me down, and she asked me a lot of questions, and she said, "I don't think you'd be happy in this hospital." I said, "You don't? Why?" She said, "Well, there are some Jewish girls, but not very many." I said to her, I'm not here to take care of Jewish girls. I'm here to take care of sick people. And Dr. Tinker recommended that I come here, so I'll tell you what. I'm leaving here now with the thought that I'm not going to be here. And you call Dr. Tinker and tell him that you didn't admit me. Okay? I walked out, I went to a phone, called Dr. Tinker, told him what happened. He said, go back there, I'll straighten it out. I said, no, I don't want to be there. It'll have to be another hospital. He said, well, all right, I'll look into it. He looked into it and he got Brooklyn Jewish Hospital. And he spoke to a woman there that he liked very much. And she said, oh, sure, we have a lot of Jewish nurses here. She'll be very happy here, and that's where I ended up. When I entered the hospital, the only thing I was afraid of was an autopsy. I just couldn't bear the thought of looking at somebody that was being cut up, you know. But the day came when 4 of us, I don't remember how many we were called and told we were going down to, today was autopsy day. And I said, you know, I think I'm going to get sick. I don't want to go. They had a man on a stretcher. He had been working in a garage, and there was a fire there. So you can imagine what that stiff looked like. It was so sad that I couldn't look at it, and I didn't look at it. And 2 of the interns passed out cold. The nurses were fine until it was over, and then when they got out, they all got sick, and the next day nobody ate anything. It was a terrible experience, terrible.
Yes.
Whatever. I got over it fast enough.
Miss Pillsbury, the head nurse, liked young women. Every night she would have them up in her apartment, but they had to come up in their pajamas and nightgowns. She called it a sleeping party. Rose didn't want to go to a sleeping party, so she wore her regular clothes. Miss Pillsbury said to Rose, Miss Kramer, didn't you understand that you were to wear your pajamas and nightgown? Rose said, I didn't know we were going to sleep here. You're not going to sleep here, Miss Pillsbury said. This is what they call a pajama party for girls who want to get together before bed. Well, I don't like it, Rose said.
I said, well, I don't like it. So she said, well, then you go downstairs to your room and change into what I tell you to. I went down, I went to bed. And did she get even with me? Oh, she made life miserable. And I didn't give a damn. I went to the president of the Nurses Association there, to his office, and what do you think happened? The hardest work she could find for me, she gave me. And she just kept on my back all the time for a long time. Oh, there was one incident that I must tell you about, where there were 2 patients, my patient and another young man. They didn't know I was Jewish. So they used to talk to each other if they wanted to talk about me in Jewish. Oh boy, if I could only get her home, or only have a date with her, things like that, you know. It's supposed to be flattering. Finally, one of them, not my patient, but the other one was discharged, and he was getting ready to leave. So as a last word, in Jewish, I said to them, and next time you'll be very careful how you talk in front of anybody that might be Jewish, because I am. I thought they were going to drop dead for 2 of them. Well, you don't know the things I said, but you can use your imagination. It's like today's the first day of another 100. And that's the only thing I can think of. What I'm going to do tomorrow, when I'm going to feel well enough to start painting, which I want to do very badly, but I can't. You see, I can do this, but I cannot raise my arm up like this without pain. Without pain. See, I get it at a certain point where I can just let it rest, and I can still feel that it's like a knife is sticking in there, and it won't get out of there. I try very hard to do things. I'm not a sitter. I can't sit. If I'm sitting, I'm doing something. And I think I like it that way. And what can I tell you? I don't know. It couldn't be any different. The only thing is I've lost a lot of family this year. And it's a terrible thing. It's the worst. It's very difficult when you're alone to keep going on and on. You know, if you have someone with you and you talk to them and they talk to you, being married. I said to Edith, do me a favor. I would like you to have dinner with me twice a week. You're working and you come home, you're tired, and I'm home doing nothing. And I said, it would make me feel that I'm so married. So she says, I don't understand. How can we be married? I said, Edith, I said, you can think you're married. I'm not going to marry you. So anyway, that's what started the whole thing. Now, I'm here 20 years. Twice a week, she's been my guest. And I call her and say, well, are you eating with me tonight? She'll say, I don't know. I said, well, if you don't know, bang. I'm not running a restaurant. Have I been talking too much?
No, not at all. Do you want some water?
I don't know. Let me get up. Let me get up first. I think it's hard for me to sit a long time. Whoa! Ah, she got me good bananas, two green and a yellow one.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, don't you want anything?
Not for me, not right now. But would you like a glass of water?
Eat anything?
Oh, before I leave, I'll have something to eat.
I've had about 4 operations. Appendectomy. I lost two children in oh dear. I lost a little girl 2 days old. She was alive, and she died 2 days later because the doctor wouldn't listen to me. And it's true.
During a gastroenterostomy operation, Rose said she died on the operating table. When they tried to bring her back, they had a very hard time. They finally succeeded. The next day, Larry, a young doctor Rose was dating at the time, told her, "You sure gave us a hard time. Where were you?" "I went through a tunnel," Rose said. "A long, long tunnel. There were 3 people in white gowns that were so beautiful, and they said to me, 'Not yet, not yet. You have to go back because it's not time.' Then she heard people yelling at her. They said, 'We lost you. We had a hard time bringing you back, but you weren't destined to go yet.' Rose had 2 miscarriages. She would say, 'They're all up there waiting for me.' So she took on other people's children and had plenty of love. Rose, would you like to talk about your husband, Harry?
What is there to talk about Harry?
Oh, Harry was a great character.
I know character he was. I don't remember the characteristics. I only remember the interesting parts.
How did you meet Harry?
Why didn't you tell me you were going to ask me those questions?
Oh, I
think
don't-
about it. I can't even remember what happened yesterday. So I
Okay.
know about Harry. How did I meet Harry? I'll tell you how I met him. I was nursing in Brooklyn at the time. Happened to go into one of his stores. He had about 12 stores of ladies' things, everything pertaining to their clothing and everything.
Long story about how Rose met Harry. And these two pulled a lot of jokes on each other, practical jokes. Some of the jokes that Harry pulled on Rose could be cruel jokes. But she left. She knew who he was. And she had confidence in his love for her, and she for him. But it was a troubled marriage because Harry was a tough guy. Harry and Rose had a very tumultuous marriage. They had a lot of laughs, and they argued all the time. Harry was sick at the end for a long time. And Rose, being the caretaker that she is, took care. But I think it was a relief when he died. She loved him, but when it was over, it was over.
So I finally decided I think he's the one, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So we both came to Long Beach, and we've been here ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's after me to go into these places where they take care of you. That's a poison for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody seems to understand it. I said, so what? I have my own apartment, all right? So they feed me. So who wants them to feed me? I like to cook.
Mm-hmm.
But you might fall, so they'll pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting that thing to hang from my neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my independence.
Mm-hmm.
That's more important to me than anything else.
Yes.
There are a lot of things wanting when you're alone.
Mm.
But you have to make up your mind that you have to make do. Find something to occupy yourself with that's of interest or helpful to somebody else. And that's the way you live. You can't live any other way. You can't live with sorrow. You can't live with regret. You can only live with what's tomorrow.
Democrats, Hillary Clinton,
Yes,
Barack
definitely.
Obama, Clinton.
Yes,
How-
definitely.
Yeah, how come?
I like her.
Yeah.
I like her brain, I like the way she thinks, and I like the Democratic Party, and I don't like the Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And Beady Eye, he can, you know what. As far
I'm
as
with
I'm
you.
concerned, I turned the television off. I can't look at him.
Yes, I feel
He's
the
such
same
a
way.
false look about him. And the way his wife hangs on to him, is she afraid to lose him? I can be very nasty.
You're famous for your mandel bread. It's
Yeah, oh
delicious.
my God, don't talk to me about my mandel bread. I go crazy here. You know, I walked out this morning. I had 2 bags, heavy bags of garbage. I don't go out at night. I leave it in the morning. I cover it and leave it. I walk out, and there's a guy standing there. He's, just a minute, don't go any further. Don't go any further. So he grabs the bags out of my hand and dumps them and comes back. Don't do that, just call. So I said, just a minute. I go and I give him a few pieces of mandel bread. He's happy as a lark. And I'm happy that I have it,
Yes.
you know, because I don't want anything for nothing, and they work hard.
Mm.
So I have a whole entourage of people that take my bundles. Now behave yourself. One thing you have to have in this life is a sense of humor.
4 weeks later, Rose was hospitalized due to an acute gallbladder attack. Because of her age, surgery was contraindicated. Rose remained in the hospital for 2 weeks, and when her condition was stable, she returned home.
Hi.
Rose has been my neighbor for about 20 years. And because she's a very determined and basically strong woman, I believe she survived the 100 years, or almost 101 years. So you're 100 years old,
Plus,
going on 101.
yeah, and I'm almost 101. God, it passes so quickly, I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
It really is scary. And sometimes when I'm in bed at night and I'm thinking, how did I do it all? That's 100. How did I do 100 years, 100 days, 100 months or something? 100 years. And I said, I don't know, but you better stop thinking about it. It's very distressing. Then I hear my mother say, Rose, get up. It's time to go to school. You'll be late. I've been hearing the music, incidentally.
You do.
Yeah, the last day.
Do you
So,
see your mother and father yet?
I don't see them. I just hear the music, the man, not the woman. And then I tune him out. I don't like his choices. La 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 la. He keeps going the same thing. La 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 la. This is for all the people that are demented, that are going to hear that or see it. I had a pretty full life, very full.
Did you date any boys from Cornell?
Huh?
Did you go out with any of the boys from Cornell?
Huh?
Did you go out with any of the boys from Cornell?
All of them.
All of them.
We were all young people, you know. But I had a lot of fun.
We're going to ask you these stories again in about 10 years.
Huh?
We're going to ask you these stories again in about 10 years.
Don't kid yourself. I'm too tired, Edith, for 10 more years. No, I have a lot of people waiting for me.
Like who?
Like who? My husband,
Oh,
my mother, my father, my sister Rita,
True.
my sister-in-law Ann, and pretty soon my sister Min. I'm going to take her off the refrigerator because every day when I look at her it makes me sick, and I'm going to take it off. I can't stand to look at her. She's failing, and I don't want to see it. So we'll wait and see what happens. That was when I was a senior in the hospital. Yeah, I was 20. And here I was already dating 2 or 3 guys, and I didn't know which one I wanted.
You were pretty good looking.
Yeah, I was cute. When I graduated, I didn't want to do night duty because it was like going to bed. You go to bed, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything, nothing happens, and it's very dull. So I went to the head of the committee for nurses because we were supposed to do night duty for at least a year before we were allowed to do day duty. And I didn't want to do night duty. So I went to the manager in his office in New York, or Brooklyn, and the first thing he said to me, "Aren't you the one that's going out with my son?" I said, "Yes, who told you?" He said, "My son told me." I said, "Oh." And he gets up and goes to the door, and he's locking it. And he sits down. I go over and I open the door, push it open, and I walk out. And I'm out. Well, that's one more against me. Okay? So when I get back, Miss Pillsbury has a call for me. She said, "You had no right to treat him that way." I said, "He had no right to lock the door." I said, "I'm not accustomed." Well, he had a reason. He wanted to know what was going on with his son. I said, "Well, why doesn't he ask his son?" So I had an answer for everything, Edith. I wasn't afraid of anybody. I knew that no matter where I went, I could get a job. I had a job with my husband. I was taking care of 12 stores, buying merchandise for them at the same time, don't forget. I did a lot of things all at once. My husband had a birthday, and he was a very good artist, but he didn't do anything with it. So I said to him, "Why don't you really, really work at it?" He says, "Please, leave me alone." So anyway, for his birthday, I went out and bought paints, brushes, an easel, everything. I wrapped it all up and gave it to him. Nothing worked. He wouldn't touch it. So I don't like waste. You know that.
Oh, I know.
So I said, well, somebody's got to do it. And that's when I started. Oh, my arm says take it easy. I work pretty good with one arm, don't I? Now this is the hard part. I put the oven on and please God, you better work. Now with this dough, I will teach you something. You have to have your hands wet when you're handling it, because otherwise it'll stick to you and you can't get it off. You follow me? What the hell is this? I was a nurse for many, many years. And I'm 100 now, so I learned that you have to take your time about everything and don't let anybody bother you. And I learned it the hard way, but I learned it. So what are you going to film next? Shall I take my clothes off? You know, one thing I do have, isn't it, Edith? A sense of humor. You want her, don't you?
No.
She wants both of us.
No.
See, I know the language.
I'm afraid I'll break you
Yeah,
if I
but
help you.
don't squeeze too hard on me.
See? You're going to give me a piece of my little bread?
I'll give you more than you want.
Maybe we'll manufacture it and go into business.
Well, I don't want to go in that kind of business.
No?
Not that kind.
What? It's either that or you have to sell something else.
I'll think of something if you want to go into business. But not laundry.
No. Don't forget the money then.
It's a good thing you reminded me right now because it's ready.
Let me pick it. Let me take it out.
No, I don't have to pretend you're here. You're here. Is she taking a picture of it?
Mm-hmm.
See, Edith, how easy it is. Oh.
This piece. I'll let you know if it's good.
Open your mouth.
Mmm.
Open your mouth. Where is she?
It's delicious.
Here. I got it ready for your mouth.
Tastes very good. But I think you should let it cool off a little.
It cuts better when it's hot, Edith.
Rosie, you know everything, don't
when it
you?
cools off, Edith, it doesn't cut too
Are you
much.
yelling at me?
Yes.
You're cutting with your right hand.
I'm cutting it with my left hand, Edith. Right hand is just holding the knife.
Ah. Rosie, how do you think your mandelbread was today?
Terrible.
Oh, come on. It
Jean,
was
what do you-
wonderful.
Hilda?
In fact, I would like another piece.
You can take another piece.
I think Rosie's mandelbread was as good as it always is.
Maybe better.
Terrific.
No, wonderful.
Rosie wakes up early and she calls me at 7 o'clock to
wake
make
you
sure that I'm up to get to work every Saturday and Sunday morning. Get up and rise and shine, and that's the voice I hear. And I come downstairs and I get my tea and coffee and my mandel bread and I go back to my desk.
Is that enough or you want more? She can tell such lies.
Rosie, this is like a party.
Only I did all the work.
I taught Rose everything she knows.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
stupid.
Touche.
You come in here, it's osmosis, you know?
I
It goes
should know
to the head.
half of what you know, Edith. I'd be very happy with it
Why?
Why?
because I think she's very bright.
Oh, how nice.
She happens to be
Very-
right.
No,
Very
I am
talented.
right.
And good looking, and good looking.
No, I don't know about the looks. I think you're getting a little heavy, but I don't know about the looks.
There's
If
something
you don't
about
need-
Yeah,
you don't
your
need-
It only does it to
Your
you.
face
As long as you have Madeline come and do your hair.
So let's talk about sex, Rosie.
Good, good.
You know you can't talk and have sex, don't you?
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You say more, more, more.
There was a program on TV this morning on 13. 13 is my channel on Sunday. And there was a lot of sex on it. They didn't think so, but there was.
Oh my God.
And it was just very, very humorous.
Oh, I thought you were going to say enlightening.
If you hang around here long enough, you'll get plenty for your films. You want to sit here and watch, and I'll turn that thing around.
Right. Let's talk about sex.
Rosie, would you like a boyfriend?
A what? Would I like a
A
what?
boyfriend.
A boyfriend?
I got somebody in mind
There
for
is
you.
one here that I like.
Yeah?
Yeah, the one that bumped into me in the elevator.
How old is he?
He got
40?
so scared. He's younger than I am. A little bit.
Yeah.
Nice, tall, not too tall. I don't like them really tall.
Well, you know.
I like them about this higher
Right.
than me.
Okay.
That's right. He was the
And
right
very
size.
nice manners. Good speaking voice and everything. He was very sorry that he bumped me, said I fell. And about a week or 10 days maybe, I met him in the elevator
There
again.
you go.
I said, here we go again. So he said, oh my goodness, thank God you're all right.
That's nice.
So I said, that was very nice of you. I said, you really didn't hurt me.
Now I'm curious who it is.
I don't know, he was very attractive. He was clean looking and walked straight, had a very nice face. And I figured, well, it's too late now. What the hell am
It's
I
too
even-
late now.
Why am I even thinking about it?
But you
Well, I
got
said,
3 friends
maybe
here.
he has a car, he'll do the grocery shopping.
Let me recite my poem.
Okay.
Do you love me? Do you not? I think you told me, but I forgot.
Then I'll remind you. I said yes.
Oh, okay. You're getting a haircut Tuesday or Thursday.
I need one. The last 2 haircuts she gave me, I didn't like.
Because your hair thins out in the winter.
Huh?
Because your hair thins out in the
I
winter.
don't lose much hair, Edith.
You don't think so?
Well, my comb doesn't say so. My brush doesn't say so.
I say so.
Well, who are you?
I'm the boss.
That's what you say.
If I say jump, you jump.
Yeah, where?
Hi. Do you ever think that, gee, I want to call Thelma's apartment now?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
This morning.
And do you go to the telephone to do it?
This morning.
You called.
This morning. I almost passed out from just the thought of it. And the music started.
You heard the music again?
Mm-hmm.
And you let the phone ring?
No, I didn't. I hung up fast.
Huh?
As soon as I realized, I hung up.
Uh-huh. She called Thelma almost every day, whether she spoke to her or not. She spoke with her aide, with her daughter, and sometimes they told her she could come over, that Thelma was well enough, sometimes not. And she misses that. It was a wonderful contact for 20 years or something. She was nice looking, she was personable.
She was a real friend. Something you don't find very often, but she was a wonderful person to everybody. We fit like this, as if we were made for each other. Everything that I said was agreeable to her, what she said was agreeable to me, and if we ever got angry, it was fun.
And she loved everybody. She was a very warm, friendly lady. That's why Rosie and her got along so well, because they were so different.
No skin, no fat.
But she is quiet and was more reserved, where Rosie is feisty and wants to do what she wants to do. And it was really lovely to see, but they got along lovely.
Rosie thinks she's a little forgetful, and somebody told her that she should be on certain psychiatric drugs. I took her to the doctor on Tuesday, and he said that these psychotic drugs could do more harm than good. So we decided to forget the psychotic drugs. You think you're still a very independent person?
Yes, I always will be, because I know a lot of things people don't know.
I forgot your name.
Edith.
No, I'm Edith.
No, I'm Edith.
I'm Edith.
Uh-uh.
I don't know your name.
Well, you don't have to. I'm Edith.
Okay. Either that or I'll call you Hey You.
Either that or I won't talk to you. You see what my name is? Right there. I had it printed out a cup.
Rosie Posey.
No,
I just want to know something. Who's smarter, you or me?
you.
A lot?
A lot.
Very much.
No, just a lot.
Who's better looking? You
Me.
or me? Yeah, that's true.
That's whatever. Edith always tries to sell. She's a salesperson. She's always trying to, or teach.
Edith is a salesperson?
Oh, sure, she
Don't talk now. She wants to talk
She-
to Jim.
She's always trying to give ideas and look, good things to Rosie to to copy.
I didn't know
But
she was a
Rosie
liar.
Rosie is not a good receiver. She doesn't like anything that you suggest, ever.
My days are bright every day.
Good. That's the way I like you to think.
Let's make it beautiful. A little.
You're jealous.
Rosie, how old am I going to live to be?
I just saw the number. 101.
Not bad.
That's
Not
not bad.
bad.
I think 104 for Rosie, easy.
Easy.
104 for me?
It's easy.
For me?
Oh,
Oh
sure.
my gosh.
She's older.
She's, please. She's younger than you are.
That's right.
You have to believe me. I have no relationship with either one of them. I know them as people living in the building.
Well, that's a relationship.
I know them as seeing them once in a while if they're at the mailbox or if they want a question answered on the telephone. That's about the extent of it.
That's the only time you see me?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know any.
Oh, excuse me. I do get a 10-minute visit once in a while. Oh.
In other words, she's not happy with me.
No,
Right.
she would like to see you more.
But I have other
no.
things to do.
Oh, why do I feel so guilty when she comes in, sits down, and is sitting like on the chair,
Oh,
but
you
off
should
the
know.
chair?
You should know her personality.
I
I
only know
accept
her a
her
short
as she
time.
is. I accept that.
I don't expect more of Edith than she's willing to give me. And she's
Correct.
given me a great deal for many years,
I agree
but I,
with you.
in turn, have given her just as much in return. So we're even.
Fair
I
enough.
gave her, she gave me.
Fair enough.
I lay awake at night thinking, what am I going to cook for Edith tomorrow night? I have to think of something different. I did it because I love cooking and I love cooking for someone. I said to her, she said, why? I said, because it makes me still feel married. I like being married, and I love cooking for someone. And it's true, I do. That's why it started, didn't I? I started asking him to have dinner with me twice a week. And it went on for many, many years, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I did try, didn't I? I didn't try? Okay, she didn't enjoy it, I'm sorry. My apologies. Next time. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. I never...
She
Rosie
never
forgets-
liked any of my meals, but she couldn't say anything.
No. Rosie, I think, forgets that when she was in the hospital, I was there every day. I'm a person with a short attention span. I cannot sit and visit
That's
for a
not
half
true.
hour or an hour.
That's not true, Edith. If I can't entertain you, I'm sorry. If I don't
I don't know what you're
entertain you,
mad about, but you are mad.
I'm not mad at
You
all.
sound mad.
No, I'm not. I'm not
Well,
mad.
Rosie, I'm sorry if I disappoint you.
I'm not mad at all.
I'm
But
sorry.
we're talking generally, and there's no use being one-sided about it. There are two sides to everything.
Okay. All righty. We all do our best, and that's all I can do.
That's the end of the story. Now you can put the period.
Let's end it. End this on a happy note. Bring out the scotch.
I drank it all.
Huh?
That's good. This is not from today. This has been for a good many years. That's love, love, and trying to please each other.
I
And
guess
want
Joanne
more.
fed her cat
They
and
want-
dogs. And
They
came
want
back.
more. Everybody wants more from everybody. You know that. Love, attention, and be there when you want them. That's it.
I'm badging.
No, the best there is.
It's a good thing I don't hear well. Everybody does what they have to do best. And if they succeed, it's good. And if they don't, well, what are you going to do? Try again. I know I always try the best I can, period. And that was my life. I wanted to help people. Very strange. I don't know, my mother was like that. Maybe that's where I got it from. And she was a wonderful woman. She really was. All the neighbors loved her. She baked for everybody. And black, white, blue, it didn't matter what color they were. 100 families in it, the Jewish families, that's all. 100 is nothing. It's a big little city. And it's a wonderful little city. They have everything you want. Education, materials to buy, people to visit with, parks, plays at school, any number of things. When I go there, I go in to visit. They turn part of it into a restaurant. I think it's important, if it belongs to your life, that you can do something. I can paint with no matter what I got, foot or hand. That I can do. There's certain things that if I want to do, nothing will stop me. If I want to cook something and I don't remember what my mother told me to do because she taught us, I'll make it up myself. And then she'll say, no, you did the wrong thing. You got to do this and that. Oh, yes, I knew there was something wrong. She was always there to correct it, but never just showing it to me, you know. Sometimes she let me guess for myself or make it up. Make it different. It'll be different than mine. It'll be better. You know, matzo balls or this or that. I have recipes now from when she taught me, and I have some that I made up because I don't remember what she taught me. So I make them up by taste. I'm crazy. But I don't know. I'll just take day by day, and every day you can learn something more. Maybe I'll give a party. That's what I may do, is collect a lot of people who weren't at the last party and just collect them. That would be interesting.